When has the UN system been misused to commit aggression against Africa? When? What are the examples where the UN Security Council was misused to the detriment of Africa? I can straight away quote two cases. The murder of Patrice Lumumba in 1961 and the attack on Libya recently. How much chaos have these two mistakes caused in Africa? If you sit down and you think how much chaos has been caused by these two actions, the killing of Patrice Lumumba, 1961, and the attack on Libya recently. All this chaos you are talking about in the Sahel is linked to the problem of Libya. The fellows who are dying in the ocean, in the Mediterranean, going to Europe. Many of them were working in Libya. Libya was, although I had problems with Gaddafi, I had to fight Gaddafi 2 times. But he had also his positive points. And many Africans were working in Libya. They were not going to Europe. Now, that little portion of strength has been destabilized, and these Africans are going in the waters. Who is answerable for these two mistakes? When you talk of accountability, who is accountable for all this suffering that has been caused by these mistakes? The attack on Libya, for instance, is definitely behind the chaos in Mali, Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, etc. Congo has been in successive problems in the last 60 years. Congo, Kinshasa, DRC. If we had such arrangements, mistakes like what happened in Libya would not have happened. Because I remember on the issue of Libya, I was a member of the Committee of 5. I hear rumor that I'm still a member, although it never meets. There was a Committee of 5 on Libya. I think chaired by Jacob Zuma, or either Jacob Zuma or Sassou Nguesso. We were members of that committee to bring peace in Libya, and we were going to do it. And actually, at that time, I didn't go, but I sent a representative, and the African leaders were in the aircraft going from, I think, Mauritania to Libya, in the air. When they were told, go back, Libya is being attacked. Can you imagine? African leaders, former colonials are attacking an African country against the wish of the African Union. This is a very big mistake for this generation to accept. Very big mistake. Now you see the chaos which came from that. So who is accountable for this? These crimes. These are crimes against humanity, which they keep talking about. But if we had been in the Security Council, actually some of the African countries were there, but they took their own position, which was not correct. Our collective, we had met in Addis, we had said, keep out of Libya, we shall settle it. But some of the people did not listen. But if we had been there with the orders of the African Union, that one would not have happened. Or if the majority of the African Unions had supported intervention, then the attack would have happened with our consent. The present chaos in some African countries can be solved if the different chapters are able to act together. When you hear the chaos which is in Africa now, country by country, this can be solved. There's nothing that we cannot solve. I'm telling you what I know, because I have been involved for the last 60 years. So the main problem is lack of coordination, lack of cohesion. This is what I'm talking about. Those fellows are playing around with us because we are not cohesive. That's why we are begging, as if we are begging for somebody has stolen my cows, and then I go to beg him, please give me back my cows. I take the cows. I don't beg you. But if you are weak, you beg. Like now we are begging, please. The present chaos in some African countries can be solved if the different chapters are able to act together. There is no adversary that we cannot defeat on the African continent if we act together. I can tell you this. Because in 1963, when our leaders first met in Addis Ababa, at that time I was in the secondary school, the ones who met in Addis Ababa were only 36 countries which had got independence. They are the ones who founded the OAU. That means there was another almost 20 countries of Africa which were not yet free. And in that conference, I remember very well, you know, the problem is that you people, what you call history, me, I call current affairs, because I was there. So in that conference, the African leaders passed a resolution saying that all the African countries must be free, peacefully. And if anybody does not give freedom peacefully, we shall throw him out by war, the armed struggle. Oh, people were laughing at, these are Africans just talking. But our leaders formed a committee of 9. It was called the Committee of 9, just like this one. The Committee of 9 African countries who are members of the Liberation Committee, which was headquartered in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And that one was to coordinate support for the liberation movements in the countries which were occupied by the foreigners. This was 1963. And people were laughing at Africa, what can they do? But by 1974, the African armies in Mozambique, in Angola, in Guinea-Bissau had defeated the Portuguese imperialists. Defeated by war, not talking in the microphones, no. Not only had they defeated the Portuguese army in Africa, but they had also liberated Portugal itself. The Portuguese got freedom because of the Africans. Then Ian Smith, 1980, down. Ian Smith had said he would be here for 1,000 years. 1994, the rest, Namibia, 1990. So there's nothing that we cannot do. That's where the problem is. By strengthening ourselves here in Africa, the outsiders will more easily accept not to interfere with our rights.